Hello everyone and welcome on Unleash Your Excellence with NC. This is your host NC on your Adventures to Excel series, and in this journey today what we are going to talk about, I'm going to talk about something related to conditional formatting. A very typical scenario is where we have our data here. So we'll talk about before we go into the data. So what we are going to talk about is what is conditional formatting, where is it used, how is it useful, what are the various type of rules we can apply on our sheet using conditional formatting. We'll talk about how to manage different conditional formatting rules and how to customize those rules, and certain tips and tricks on how to customize those rules. So let's start our journey with some sample data here. And as I said, it is a dynamic formatting of your sheet, where as you keep on changing your data, or even when you are entering your data, you keep on getting some inputs while entering the data. Here we are not talking about data validation. Here we are talking about while entering the data, you can come to know directly that okay, there is some kind of a problem which might happen in this values. Let's take some things here. Conditional formatting is very useful on columns which are dynamic columns. Dynamic columns, when I say, it means that we have a calculation on that particular column. It works very well with those type of columns, but saying that, it is not hard and fast rule that it works only on those columns. It can be applied on any kind of a column as well, where you have static values also. So let's start here and start with some simple things, and then we will watch the video till the end, and then we will also see how this can be applied, or how conditional formatting is applied on dynamic columns, and how the formatting changes, how things change when you are using it on on columns which are dynamic based on the values of a particular column. So let's start off with some basics. So what we have here is, I have a column which is a column, I have some sales data where I have selling prices per unit, quantities and all those things, and I have order date and shipping date, and there is an aging column, that is how much time did it take to deliver a particular product or ship a particular order. What we might want to do in this case is, we might want that okay, we want to highlight only those cells, only those rows or cells for that matter, where aging is beyond our threshold. Let's say we have a rule where the aging should not be beyond, let's say, 10 days. They are the thing, or 5 days. They are the orders which are orders where we have gone beyond our threshold or beyond our benchmark. So what we do is, we will highlight the aging column, and we'll go to the home tab. In the home tab we have an option where we say conditional formatting. Under the styles you have something called as conditional formatting. We go to conditional formatting. Now where there are various rules which can be applied for your conditional formatting. So we'll look into some of the very interesting rules. So first thing what we are looking at is highlight cell rules. Now we have put a condition that anywhere where the aging is more than 5, we want to apply a cell rule where we say greater than, less than, between. So we have various options where you have date occurring, you have text that contains all these values, all these rules can be applied. We'll start working with greater than, and we say that okay, if the rule or if the value is greater than what we just now said, 5, so I will choose 5, and wherever the value is greater than 5, we want to give a highlighting style. We want to highlight those cells. So what we can do is, by default Excel gives a formatting, but if we don't want that formatting, we want to customize that formatting. So what we do is, we drop down the formatting which has been given and we choose custom format. We come to a format cells dialog box and there we go to fill, and there we can say red for example, and we go to the font, we choose white as the text color and click on OK. So all the cells which have this format, this value that is greater than 5 has got highlighted with red color. We can also do multiple formatting in the same column, conditional formatting in the same column. We want that anything which is less than 5 should be green. So what we can do is we can continue with the same column, go to conditional formatting and we go to highlight cell rules and we say less than 5 and we want to give a green color. So custom format, fill, we want to fill it with green color, and let's say I want to still give the font as white and I want to make it bold, italics, whatever we want to do, and click on OK and OK. So this formatting, so wherever the value is less than 5 has got highlighted with green. As I said in the beginning that this is dynamic and it works very well with columns which are calculated columns. Now for example, if I change my shipping date for the first row itself or any of these rows, because my aging is based on order date and shipping date, that is or shipping date minus the order date. You can do it using other functions or date related functions also. If I have covered those in my earlier videos on working with dates, and you can use those functions. If you have not seen that video, kindly see the video and then you will be able to understand how we can do the date arithmetic. Let's say I change this date for the time being. I will make it, let's say 25th November 2023. The moment I change it, okay, it's become 381 days, so it is more than 5. I will make it 2020. Why should I make it more than a year? Let's say. So we get this value as red. You change it back to, let's say, 10/11/2022 and you get the value. So these are dynamic changes which you can have. You can also highlight all these values based on other criterias as well. Let's say I have an order priority and I highlight this column and I go to conditional formatting, and we can also highlight cells based on text that contains, so we can say text that contains, let's say high priority, and we want to highlight them with red color or let's say blue color, and I want to give the font as white. So you'll get all those cells which are highlighted with high, which are having a priority as high. The only thing here is, because this is a static column, order priority is a static column, if you manually go and change the priority here, then only your formatting will change. If I make it medium for example, then only the formatting changes, otherwise the formatting will not change. Another interesting thing what we can do with this is based on certain parameters. Let's say we have a total sales amount column, we have the selling price per unit, we have the quantity sold, we have the total sales amount, we have the cost of the product per unit, and we have the profit, and we have the profit margin, which is profit percentage, which is we are calculating based on the total sales and the profit, but that is what is the profit percentage. What we want to highlight here is, so what I have is, I have calculated the profit percentage of all the orders. We might have a scenario where we want to, now this will work very well if you are entering the new data as well and on the existing data also. So let's say we want that if our profit percentage is less than a particular amount or a percentage, it should be showing me a alert Alert in the sense, not a dialog box or something like that, but an alert in the sense that it should give us some kind of a symbol, that a flag kind of a symbol, where we come to know that okay, my profit percentage would be less if I sell it on this value. So what we can do is, one is with the existing data, plus we can also add or extend this to the other new records as well. So I will do one thing, I will highlight my existing data, plus I will highlight the complete sheet for example purposes, all the rows in the sheet. And what I will do is, I will go to conditional formatting and I will say okay, I want to give icon sets. There is something called as icon sets. Now you can use various type of icon sets, where you can have traffic signals, arrows, you can use flags, whatever type of things you want. Let's say we want to get a flag symbol, that if somebody is selling a particular product at a less than a particular profit, it should raise a flag for him or her. So you can use any one of these icon sets, and let's say I am using the flag, that is red, green and yellow flags. So what has Excel done? It has automatically given the flags to us. But what are these flags based on? These flags are based on a default setting what Excel has inside it. So let's see how to modify and how to fine-tune your settings and how to manage your conditional formatting and edit your conditional formatting rules. So what we do here is, we will highlight this column, go to conditional formatting, and last we have something called as manage rules. In the manage rules, you can select the current selection also if you are in that particular column or in that particular area, or you can also select this worksheet. Now when you click on this worksheet, all the rules what we have applied on this worksheet are displayed. What you want to edit is icon sets. So we click on icon sets and we click on edit rule. Now when you choose icon sets and you choose edit rules, what do we see here? We see the green is when the value is greater than equal to 67%. Now what is this 67%? This 67% Excel has by default taken as a percentage of the overall average of the data, that is overall percentage of the data. So we don't want the overall percentage, we want a particular value, so what, or a number for that matter. So but we will use a particular value here. We say greater than equal to, and we will choose number, and we will say first you'll have to choose that number, and then you will say if it is, we say that whenever a profit percentage is greater than, let's say 65%, so 65% we know is 0.65, then I should see a green symbol. In case my profit percentage is less than 65 but more than 35, then I want a yellow symbol, that is okay, I'm happy with my profit percentage. Now again, because we are going to change a number, what you have to do is first change the type to number and then type your percentage or value 0.35. Press the tab key so that the last option automatically gets activated, so you get 0.035 here, and we click on OK and apply and OK. So anywhere where our value is more than 65, greater than equal to 65, it is green, if you can observe my screen, and wherever it is less than 35, it is red, so wherever the profit percentage is falling. How does it apply to the new row? Let's say I will just go to the first column and go to the last row. I'll just copy the value, some of the values here. So if you see, my formatting is also getting highlighted here. And now let's observe this. my selling price for this particular product is, let's say, 45, and I sell 5 quantities, so we get the total sales amount. Cost of the product in this case, let's say, is $20. So my profit is 125, which is only 6%. So it's only 56%. So it is yellow because more than 65. So now I know that, okay, my profit is a little bit of a problematic case here. So I will just copy all the other formulas so that we can see what all is coming there. And we have edited so the new fresh data also. Why? At the time of entering the data itself, we come to know, okay, this is something where we have to see. So let's say if I increase the selling price from 45 to 50, yes, it is 60%. So, and if I reduce by 15, so I get 70% margin. So we can, at the time of entering the new records, we can even see what will happen to our profit percentage. Similarly, what we can also do is, let's say we want to see some kind of data bars in our profit. So if I press my Control Shift and down arrow and select the whole row, and I go to conditional formatting, we have something called as data bars. Data bars will give you some kind of an indication within the cell itself that where your data lies. So if you see here, it has made a data bar here. And how is this formatted? So you go to conditional formatting, manage rules. We have selected edit data bars, edit rule, so gradient fill. So there is no condition where we can change anything here, except we can say just show bar only, and if I click on OK and apply, so it will only show the bars which are there, it will not show us the value. So this can be used when you just want to see, but most of the time we would want to see the values as well. So type is minimum and maximum, which is automatic. You can choose lowest number, formula, percentile, whatever you want to choose them. And we click on OK, apply, OK, so that we can see the values as well now. Same way we can do various type of formattings, various type of things with other calculated columns as well. And as you have been observing, the moment we are changing the values, your formatting styles also are changing. So what we have covered is, we have seen conditional formatting, we have seen various type of rules. You can apply top bottom rules, where you can say top 10 items, top 10 percentages, bottom 10 item, bottom above the average and below the average. Like for example, if we select total sales and we go to conditional formatting and we choose top bottom rules and we say above average, so any items which are above the average will be highlighted. If you want, you can choose items which are top 10 items, top 10 percentages. You can, let's say, bottom 10 percentages, and if I click on OK, so bottom 10 values in percentages would be highlighted. So you can observe that bottom 10 values. Where else can this be useful is, now as we have formatted our data based on conditions, we can now do a lot of things with this. We will apply auto filters, and what we can do is, let's say we want to see we want to only see the profit by data. So what we can do is, we can select the profit column and sort by color, and we choose custom sort. Here it will not show you because there is no color in the cell. So if we use it on column M, where we have profit percentages, and I can sort by cell icon. So I want to see what are the values which are red flagged. So we can just click on sort by color and choose red flag. So the whole data, wherever we had red flags, so we come to know that okay, this order ID, these three order IDs were below our profit percentage of 35%. So we can sort the data on this basis. I'm sure this would have given you quite a lot of insight on how to work with conditional formatting, how to manage those rules. We might have been using conditional formatting, but then we might not have tried out things like how to change the settings or how to customize your rule. So I am sure that this would have given you those insights and how to sort your data based on all these type of things. If you have liked the video, kindly like the video, and if there is anything which you want to know on this, please put in the comment box and I will try to help you out. I will try to support you in whatever way I can in sharing information. If you have any clarifications to be done on this, subscribe to the channel. So subscribe for the channel. Don't forget to hit on the notification button so that you get the latest updates on all the videos which I put on the channel. Thank you for the time being and have a nice time.